All right, everybody, welcome back in for another deep dive with me and, as always, the expert.
Hello, hello.
And today we've got some stuff that's, well, it's pretty juicy. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, you can say
it's a very, very wild turn of events. You know, we try to stay on top of all the latest developments with all these artists and stuff.
Absolutely.
But this is one I don't think anyone saw coming. Kanye West, you know, him.
Of course.
And, well, 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Two big names from the 2000s, and, well, they're still big names now.
There are.
But 50 Cent has seemingly sided with Kanye.
Publicly, yes.
Yeah. And this is all amidst Kanye's recent, you know.
His rants.
Yeah.
Oh,
outbursts.
On social media.
Correct.
And it's not just, you know, a couple little posts.
No.
This is big stuff.
It's big, and it's drawing in other huge names.
Yeah.
We're talking Jay-Z, we're talking Beyonce.
Oh, yeah, and even Diddy.
Diddy, that's right.
So it's a very complex situation.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of news articles here, and they're all talking about it.
Right.
And, you know, everyone's trying to make sense of it.
Yeah.
So what we're going to try to do today is to go through all this stuff and, you know,
lay it all out.
And help you guys understand what's going on.
Exactly.
So this whole thing really started with Kanye's posts.
His social media posts.
Yeah, and these posts on X, that's right, formerly Twitter.
And Instagram.
Yeah, they were...
inflammatory, you could say.
Yeah, inflammatory is a good word for it.
Yeah.
You know, he was really going after Jay-Z and Beyonce's children.
That's right. And that's where things took a very serious turn.
Yeah, it was shocking, honestly.
It was.
You know, to see someone say those things about kids.
Especially about children.
Yeah,
It's really beyond the pale.
Yeah, and you know, he used some really strong language.
He did.
And I think it's important for us to quote him directly here.
I agree.
Just to show, you know, the intensity of what he was saying.
Yes.
So in one of these posts that has since been taken down, Kanye wrote, and this is a direct quote, "Wait, has anyone ever seen Jay-Z and Beyonce's younger kids? They're retarded? No, like literally. And this is why artificial insemination is a blessing. Having retarded children is a choice."
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, just reading that again.
I know. It's hard to believe.
It's really hard to process.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people are struggling with.
Absolutely.
You know, how could someone say something like that?
And then you have 50 Cent's reaction to this.
Yeah, so 50 Cent, he goes on Instagram and he posts about it.
Right.
And he says, "I didn't post anything yesterday because at Yee said the kids are retarded. I can't compete with that kind of she."
Yeah.
And, you know, at first it seems like he's, you know, distancing himself from it. Like
Sure,
he's
yeah.
saying this is too much even for me.
Right.
But then he adds something that's really unexpected.
He does.
He says, "I'm listening to his album now."
Referencing Bully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bully, which is Kanye's leaked album.
Right, right.
So it's like, on the one hand, he's saying, this is messed up. But on the other hand, he's like, oh, but I'm still checking out his music.
It's a very strange juxtaposition.
It is. And it kind of leaves you wondering, what is he really thinking?
Exactly. And then you have Kanye's response to 50 Cent.
Oh, yeah. He didn't just let that slide.
No, he did not.
He went back on X and replied directly to 50.
And what did he say?
Well, again, I have to quote this directly because it's pretty intense.
Okay.
He wrote, 50, I said Beyonce and Jay-Z kids are retarded. Let's make the hot water boiling hot. Or like people say, broiling hot.
Wow. So he's really doubling down.
Yeah, he's not backing down at all.
And how did 50 Cent respond to that?
Well, this is where things get even more interesting.
Okay.
He goes back on Instagram and he posts again.
All right.
And this time he mentions Kanye's album again.
Bully.
Yeah, Bully. And then he does something that's totally unexpected.
What's that?
He quotes Diddy.
Diddy, his longtime rival.
Yeah, exactly. So here's what he wrote. As much as I don't want to agree with Diddy on anything, just smile. Yay, smile. And fuck them all, man. Fuck them. Bully out now. I like Spanish songs.
Okay, so there's a lot to unpack there.
There is.
First of all, he's quoting Diddy,
Yeah.
who he famously does not get along with.
Right.
And he's doing it in the context of Kanye's really offensive comments about children.
Exactly.
And then he's promoting Kanye's album again.
And throwing in that he likes Spanish music.
Right, which seems totally random.
It does. It's like a weird mix of like, you know, amusement and maybe even support for Kanye.
Yeah, that's hard to pin down exactly what he's trying to say.
And it's important to remember that Kanye's outbursts weren't limited to just Jay-Z and Beyonce.
That's right. He was going after a lot of people.
Yeah, he was targeting Classy Playboy Cardi. Like, it was just
a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, it was like he was on a rampage.
It seemed that way.
But the comments about Jay-Z and Beyonce's kids,
those seem to hit differently.
yeah, because those are children.
Right, and they're not public figures in the same way that Kanye or Jay-Z are.
Exactly. So it felt like a real crossing of a line.
It did. And there are reports that Jay-Z and Beyonce are considering legal action.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're reportedly discussing it with their lawyers.
So this could get even more serious.
It could, and, Kanye being Kanye.
He didn't back down.
He did not.
He actually deleted the initial post about the children.
He did, but then he claimed he only did it because he's a good person.
Yeah, and he didn't want his Twitter account to be suspended.
Right, but then almost immediately after that,
He went after Jay-Z and his family again,
he did.
bringing up past issues like white women taking my kids and even mentioning his Trump hat.
Yeah, it was like he was trying to deflect.
Maybe, or maybe he was just trying to stir up even more controversy.
It's hard to say for sure.
But it's definitely a pattern we've seen before with Kanye.
Absolutely.
He says something inflammatory and then he tries to justify it or he just keeps going.
Right, and it makes it very difficult to engage with him in any meaningful way.
Yeah, you never know what he's going to say or do next.
Exactly. But let's take a step back for a moment.
Okay.
Because there was actually an earlier instance where Kanye praised 50 Cent.
Oh, that's right. I'd almost forgotten about that.
Yeah, this was a few weeks ago.
And it was a pretty big deal.
He called 50 Cent one of my favorite people.
Yeah, and he even said that 50 Cent would be key to bringing back Black economic independence.
Which is quite a statement.
It is, especially coming from Kanye.
And 50 Cent's reaction to this praise was interesting.
He acknowledged being flattered by the compliment.
Which is understandable.
Yeah, but he also expressed some reservations.
He did. He said he was leery of Kanye.
Yeah, given everything else Kanye was saying and doing at the time.
Right, and he even advised Kanye to cool it.
Yeah, especially when it came to insulting families.
Specifically mentioning Playboy Cardi's son.
That's right. He even posted on Instagram saying, "Damn it, Ye. Yeah, dangerous right now what you say about the kids, man."
So even though he was flattered by the praise,
He was still drawing a line.
he was. And it seems like that line is children.
Yeah, he's not okay with attacks on kids.
And I think that's important to note.
It is, because it shows that even amidst all this craziness,
There's still some boundaries.
yeah, and some things that are just off limits.
Right, and for you, the article we looked at,
Yeah.
it pointed out a pretty striking irony.
What's that?
Kanye, who has openly called himself a Nazi
Oh, yeah.
and said he loves Hitler,
Yeah.
he's also talking about Black economic independence.
Wow. Yeah, that is pretty ironic.
It's a real contradiction.
Yeah, and it kind of makes you wonder what he really believes.
It does. It raises a lot of questions about his motivations and his sincerity.
And it's not like his actions are really lining up with his words.
No, not at all.
So it's a very confusing situation.
It is, and then you have Diddy's involvement in all of this.
Right. Diddy's got his own legal troubles right now.
He's awaiting trial on racketeering and sex trafficking charges.
Yeah, and he's facing civil lawsuits too.
And he's pleaded not guilty.
Right. But his trial is set for May 5th, 2025.
So it's a very serious situation.
It is. And amidst all this, Kanye has been very publicly supportive of Diddy.
He is even going so far as to have a leaked phone call.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where Diddy thanked Kanye for taking care of my kids.
And praised him for taking his sons under his wing.
Yeah, it's a strange dynamic.
It is.
Yeah.
Especially given Kanye's own behavior.
Yeah, and it brings us back to 50 Cent.
Right.
Because he has a long and complicated history with both Kanye and Diddy.
It is that these three were all huge in the 2000s.
Yeah, they were all at the top of the hip-hop world.
And now they're all in very different places.
Yeah, Diddy's facing these serious legal charges.
Kanye as well. Kanye.
Yeah, increasingly erratic and controversial.
And 50 Cent is kind of on the sidelines.
Yeah, but he's still very much involved.
Oh, yeah. He's watching everything.
And commenting on it.
Often in a very provocative way.
Yeah, and sometimes it seems like he's just trolling.
It's possible.
But the fact that he quoted Diddy
Yeah.
in a seemingly supportive post about Kanye,
That's the really strange part.
it is, because he and Diddy have this long-standing feud.
Right. They've been at odds for years.
So to see him quote Diddy,
It's like he's playing with fire.
it is, and it just adds another layer of complexity to this whole situation.
It does. And it makes you wonder what's really going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, what are the motivations here?
What are the relationships really like?
And how is all this playing out beyond what we see on social media?
Because clearly there's more to it than meets the eye.
Exactly.
So for you, the big takeaway here
Yeah.
is that 50 Cent's reaction to Kanye's behavior is very complex.
It is, he's acknowledging that what Kanye said was wrong.
But he's also engaging with him
And even promoting his music.
and quoting his rival.
Yeah, it's not a simple endorsement.
No, it's more like a mixture of observation
maybe even amusement.
And perhaps even a commentary on the whole celebrity culture.
Yeah, the way that controversy drives attention.
And how these figures use it to their advantage.
So the question is, what is 50 Cent really up to?
Is he genuinely supporting Kanye?
Is he just trolling everyone?
Or is it something else entirely?
Yeah, and that's something for you guys to think about.
It is, because there's no easy answer.
And this whole situation really highlights how complicated these relationships are.
Absolutely.
And how they play out in this digital age.
Where everything is public.
And everything is amplified.
And it makes you wonder what's next.
Yeah, what's the next chapter in this story?
And how will these figures continue to shape the cultural landscape?
Yeah, it's a lot to think about.
It is.
But that's what we do here on The Deep Dive.
We try to make sense of the chaos.
And hopefully provide some insights.
So thank you for joining us.
And we'll see you next time for another Deep Dive.
See you then.
Bye.